Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to the Jank Diver Gaming YouTube channel. Today, we're going to play some Jumpstart Historic Horizons. If you're not familiar with this set, it was basically this really bold excuse to get a bunch of the Modern Horizons 1 and 2 cards onto Arena, with the preface that they're going to be legal in Historic. But you have to play some Jumpstart to collect those cards or just craft them. It's really not the best way to introduce these cards to Arena because it's so hard to actually collect the cards. But here's how Jumpstart works if this is your first time playing. So once we sign up for Jumpstart, we're going to get a choice of 3 different deck types. They're going to have wild themes, things like energy, maybe pirates, zombies, stuff like that. Just very generic themes. You're going to pick one of those. It's going to give you 20 cards, and then you're going to get another selection of 3 decks. You'll pick one of those, and you'll combine the 2 that you pick together into one ready-to-play limited deck. It'll come with a rare from each deck that you picked. There's a little bit of flexibility in the slots as far as the cards actually go. And then the way prizes work here is once you get 1 win with your deck, you get some random rare or mythic rare from Jumpstart. And once you get your second rare, you get another random rare or mythic from Jumpstart, and then there's really no reason to play your deck ever again because you're no longer winning anything. So you cap out here at basically 2 wins. There's no penalty for losing. Some of the decks end up being way better than the other decks, and some of them end up being a lot more cohesive. But, it's a fun little experiment. If you're looking to just convert coins or gems into some Historic Horizons cards, then by all means, go ahead and play this. But if you don't care about your collection very much, you're not going to play a lot of Historic, or for some reason you're not into cubing with us, with the Jank Diver Gaming community, then this might not be the best place to spend your coins and gems. But I'm going to spend my coins, so you don't have to. We'll probably do like 2 runs through Jumpstart and just win, or rather play until we get our wins, just to show people what it's like. So let's go ahead and use some coins here. So we have our first option here, Enchanted. From my experience, I haven't played a lot of this, but it's usually better to go for a monocolored thing first, and then try to pick something that goes with the monocolored theme. Starting off with green-white enchantments doesn't strike me as a very good idea because my next 3 could be like red decks. You really do not want to be 3 colors with this sort of thing. So I'm going to stay away from the enchanted stuff and pick either Frailise or Davriel. I've already played Davriel. I have not actually played the card, and I do think this would be a fun card to actually play with, even though I never drew it when I had it. I'm going to probably pick Frailise, though, just to get a different card in my collection. I'm spending my coins here, so I would like to build my collection a little bit. Let's go ahead and pick the Elf deck Frailise, even though I think Davriel is a much cooler card as far as the digital-only cards go. So our second selection gave us Cyclone, which has 0 synergy with the Elves. Legion, which I have to imagine is like just go wide soldiers and humans and stuff like that, and then Evolving, which I'm not entirely sure what this is. I would really hope to not open Simic Ascendancy out of my Jumpstart pack since I paid coins for this, but this is the only one that has green in it, and I don't see any reason these 2 are going to go with our elf deck. So let's go and pick up this Evolving thing and see what we've got. You can look at your deck first, of course. So first thing we want to look for are our rares. We should have 2 of them, and it looks like one of them is obviously Frailise. So this has some new mechanics. It has the Perpetual mechanic and the Seek mechanic, which you can pause and read here. I'm not sure why Regal... Oh, I didn't realize this conjured Regal Force. Oh, it has Conjure as well. So this is just the trifecta of all of the new digital mechanics on screen here. And hopefully we get to play with that and see what that can do. Faceless Agent, also a new card that seeks up a creature of the most prevalent creature type in your library. Simic Ascendancy, unfortunately, was our other rare, so it's kind of a bust to get, a random Ravnica Allegiance rare that we probably already have in a set where you really want to be collecting some of the new cards. There's some other stuff floating through here. Looks like just green and blue stuff. +1/+1 counter synergies and creatures. That seems like it could be good enough. I saw like 1 removal spell in there, so that's the name of the game here. Let's go ahead and run through with our Frailise Evolving deck. And again, you're just playing until you get 2 wins. Nothing super complicated. It's really a just for fun format. The gripe, of course, is that it's the only way outside of using wild cards to actually get the Historic Horizons cards. So it's kind of a really frustrating model if you're trying to play Historic with like 4 ofs and stuff like that. Opponent goes first. You do get a free mulligan, which is always nice in a just for fun format. We have the 2 cards here that we want to play. We don't have another forest to actually play Freylease on turn. Sky Shroud Lookout is a 2-mana 1/1 with reach, and when it enters the battlefield, you seek an elf card, so it'll actually go into your library without you looking and just pick a random elf card. You don't even shuffle or anything like that. Your opponent doesn't get to see what the card is. We're definitely going to keep Shark to Crab. Didn't even mention it, but Shark to Crab's great. I mean, this is a nice curve out, right? We would have preferred a forest to another island, but we'll take it. I think every deck comes with like 2 Cyclone lands or something like that. I think you end up with 18 lands. I could always go back and look, but it's such low pressure that it kind of doesn't even matter. All right, Fairy Vandal. Let's go ahead and play this Sky Shroud Lookout and see what random elf it puts in my hand. Elder Leaf Mentor, one that makes a 1/1 when it enters the battlefield. Fairy Vandal's pretty good. You all remember this card from Eldraine. Mana War. It's actually not a great Mana War target. But it's fine. All right. Did not draw the forest to play Freylease here. So it looks like our only bet here is to just play Sky Shroud Lookout again and hold up Island for Cyclone. See what elf they give us this time. Taunting Arbor Mage. This is 8 cards. I'm going to have to discard. What 4-drop am I not playing here? I'm probably not playing this Arbor Mage. Get out of here. This thing makes everything block a creature or something like that. It's not particularly exciting as a 6-drop. Scour all possibilities, so Growing the Fairy Vandal. This will get a counter since they're drawing their 2nd card this turn. Opponent also appears to have 2 just mono blue decks, perhaps, which I think is how you want to play Jumpstart. You just want 2 decks that overlap in color. If you can get 2 overlapping themes, then power to you. Yep, we'll go and take some damage. Didn't seem like there's a lot of counter magic from what I saw, so I'm just running cards into whatever my opponent has. It's also the other green source we need, but we'll go and play Sharky Boy here. It just resolves. It's nice. Get in that 1 damage. So if you don't know Shark to Crab, whenever it gets 1 or more counters, you get to freeze an opponent's creature. It also has Adapt, which means you can pay that cost, put a counter on it if it doesn't already have a counter, and that'll trigger the ability. Oneriophage gets a counter whenever you draw a card. Technically from Modern Horizons, but this was also in a core set, so it's not like that one's exactly new. All right, so awkwardly, I would love to play Freylease here just because it's cool and interesting, but I also want to keep up Arbor Armament. So what I think here is I'm going to wait for Freylease next turn. We'll go ahead and play Thornwood Falls into maybe Scatewing Spy. Could also play Forest and go like Llanowar Elves plus Mentor. Shark to Crab's going to get some damage in. This costs 5 mana to flashback. Scatewing Spy is pretty strong. All right, Shark to Crab, get some damage in for me, will you? And Scatewing Spy. Yeah, Scatewing Spy is pretty good. This gives all my creatures with flying +1/+1, or rather, all my creatures with +1/+1 counters flying. So my opponent's creatures are going to get pretty big here. Mole Drifter. All right, so Oneriophage is going to get really big. Fairy Vandal's going to get another counter. Ooh, opponent jams. I'll go ahead and block here. Okay, just throwing away Mana War, I suppose. So we're going to have to use Shark to Crab here, but I think I can use Shark to Crab plus Arbor Armaments, lock my opponent's creatures down, and maybe just get ahead on damage. Which means we might not be playing Freylease. What does the minus do? Seek an elf card, untap an elf, gets +1/+1. This thing can just block something. So I could go Freylease, attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then look to Arbor Element this Shark to Crab. Having this back as a blocker. It could also get in 1 less damage and have this block back as a 2/2. That seems better to have this as a blocker than to get in 1 extra point of damage. So, let's attack. I wonder if my opponent's actually just missing a color. I don't think they are, but... Alright, so we'll plus up to 1, untap an elf. It gets +1/+1, and then a random elf in my hand perpetually gets +1/+1. And the perpetual mechanic means no matter what happens to this card, it will always have +1/+1. If it gets exiled, if it gets shuffled back into my library, this particular card now has +1/+1 forever. Okay, opponent was missing a color. Was indeed missing a color. Oh, flashing back Scour. Lock Dragon. Okay. Pretty strong. So whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you can discard a card to draw a card. Probably should have done that before playing the land, I would imagine. So Oneirophage gets pretty big here. And they're debating attacks here. So I can put a counter on, or rather I could just adapt this, of course, right? And lock this down, and then I have 5, 6, 7 damage. This is 8 damage. This does not untap the creature. So I guess I should have locked down before combat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm still short a damage here. Maybe we can whip something up. So Sky Shroud Lookout's going to have to block here. That's fine. And then we'll untap. Adaptive Snapjaw. Okay. So I think we go fetch up an elf here and just see what we get. We got a Wild Heart Invoker, which is 8 mana to give something +5/+5. That kind of doesn't matter. But I guess what we do here is... Oh, this would actually gain flying as well. Adapt 2. So if I adapt here, this becomes 8 power, right? This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I use the other mana to make this 9 and lock that down. All right, we'll go for the win instead of whatever else we were going to do. And then put a +1/+1 counter here, lock that down, attack for 9. Shaboom! We got there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Jumpstart. Play random cards and hope your cards are better than your opponent's cards. And I guess sometimes you get mana screwed as well. So let's go ahead and claim our prize here. By the way, I've done like 10 of these and I have literally not opened a single mythic rare. I've not opened a single mythic rare. Anyway, let's go ahead and play another match here. Again, we're just hoping to get a second win so we can move on to the next one. It's a little sad that if your opponent just concedes or something like that and you just win your 2 rares, you're not really playing for anything else after that point, so there's not a lot of incentive to keep playing that deck. Maybe that's by design so that you'll, of course, go buy into another one, but I do find that you don't get a lot of experience with your deck, unfortunately. No blue mana, but also no blue cards. This is a draw spell. I'm on the draw. This card seems not good. Also did not know this card had Vigilance. This card is also just... It's fine. This is a fine card. It's not very good. I guess we can go like 2-drop, 3-drop. I'll keep. We need to draw Island plus Interaction plus good cards. Uh-oh. Opponent played Llanowar Elves. Guess we lose. I don't know, like, how many decks Llanowar Elves comes in, right? Scurry Oak. So this has Evolve and makes Squirrels. Very powerful card. Let's go ahead and seek up that elf. Picking up a Dwinnen's Elite, which is actually pretty nice. You get another elf as long as you control an elf when this enters the battlefield. So it looks like our opponent's some combination of like elves plus +1/+1 counter stuff. We'll take my 1. So, oh, nice. So we go Song of Freyalise, which lets my creatures tap for mana, and then Dwinen's Elite. Opponent's holding up some sort of 2-mana instant interaction, which could be the fight spell, which they might have been debating using there to keep me off this extra mana. This is going to be pretty nice, though. So here, if they actually use the fight spell now, I won't get the 1/1 token because you have to control another elf, but looks like they're choosing not to do that. Of course, they might not have a fight spell, but Song of Freyalise, for those who did not play during the Golden Age of Dominaria, turns all of your creatures into mana dorks. Opponent is also going super wide here. And then the third chapter just lets you jam. Third chapter is awesome. All right, let's reread what this does. All creatures able to block target creature this turn do so. So that's kind of whatever. We'll definitely play our land, of course. We could play Freyalise here, using an elf to untap. Could also just play more creatures. Get ready for this ability to go off. This would give them all flying as well. Seems pretty strong. I think we can hold tight on Freyalise here. Alternatively, I could play like a really small Hydra. What if I play Freyalise and then tap one of these for mana, untap, play this? Am I under a bunch of pressure? Is my opponent going to play like an overrun and just kill me? Maybe not. Let's do that. That sounds way more fun. All right, so which one? It doesn't matter which one we untap. We'll go ahead and tap this one for blue. We'll plus here, untap Sky Shroud Lookout, and the Arbor Mage got Perpetual +1/+1. We'll cast a Skatewing Spy and see if our opponent's gonna like just completely destroy us here or not. Skatewing Spy dying. That would be rough. Webweaver Changeling, just a 3/5 here. This gains you 3 life if you have, gains you 5 life if you have 3 or more creatures in the graveyard when it enters. Scurry Oak putting in work. Opponent's going to send some dudes in to kill Freyalise here. Should just send the Elderfang Mentor. I'm not going to trade Skatewing Spy. Oh, yeah. Give me a free 1/1 to kill. I'm super happy killing a 1/1. So Freyalise is going to die here. Opponent has guaranteed. I suppose we'll kill elves before we kill whatchamacallits? Squirrels. Song of Freyalise goes off. All my creatures get +1/+1. Flying, Vigilance, Indestructible. No longer tap for mana, though, and then we'll play an Urban Daggertooth. So this has reach. I don't get to actually kill anything. But they can block a 3-power creature and take 8. Could kill it. I could put 2 counters on Dwinen's Elite, but I'm not going to do that. And then Daggertooth. Alright, so just 5 mana, destroy target creature. My things don't fly anymore. Arbor Mage actually looks pretty good here with the Proliferator. I think I'm going to play that. Attack with the Daggertooth and look to use the Ren's Run Hydra here, because proliferating these other creatures is pretty gross. So play this, attack with Daggertooth, just Daggertooth. And see what the opponent wants to do. All right, I am cool with that, I think. So we'll reinforce here, put 2 counters on Daggertooth. Oh, is this going to proliferate 3 times? Oh, I'm pretty sure it is, because it's going to take damage from 3 different sources. And it's going to survive, and it got counter, so it's going to proliferate itself. Let's see proliferate procs 3 times. I'm pretty sure it does. Does it not? Oh, I guess it doesn't. I know it took like... I thought different sources dealing damage would count. Oh, all right. We have the Freyalise ourselves. All right, looks like they're going to go ahead and buff up one of their creatures instead of seeking an elf. That's fine, going for the Regal Force. That is threatening to do damage, or rather hold off blockers. Drawing this would be amazing. Rather drawing a 6th of mana so I could cast this with the kicker cost. If not, I'm just playing like 6-2. Okay, so buffing up Elderleaf Mentor. All right, we didn't get there on the mana. So if I attack with the 7/6, it trades for a creature here. They put this, excuse me, this and this in front. Could attack with this, this, and this. And then these require double blocks, but at least trade for bigger creatures, and I can just play more big creatures. That seems reasonable. Plus the proliferate on the Dagger Tooth is going to go off. This is not trample. The 3/3 is just too free for my opponent to eat with one of their creatures. Also, my opponent could have interaction here, I suppose. So these are going to attack Freyalise. And we'll just leave it to the opponent to figure out how they want to block. I suppose we'll play Adaptive Snapjaw. Not a great card, but serviceable, I suppose. This card's fine. I don't know that Jumpstart games are often getting up to the point where you can sink 8 mana into something, but it's fine. I guess opponent could still have that fight spell too if we put him on that fight spell early on. Snakeskin Veil. +1/+1 in hexproof? Sure. Okay. Not sure what that did. Okay, so just guaranteeing that this dies with the double block in the lookout. Okay. Alright, so Dagger Tooth will trade, Freyalise goes down to 1, and I get to proliferate the rest of my things. That seemed overall good for me. My opponent could have just blocked with, like, this. Like, 2 creatures if they really wanted to guarantee that the 7/6 dies. So, Faceless Agent's a nice one. Ooh, they went Marwyn into Faceless Agent. Very nice. This probably puts a counter on Marwyn. Okay, you got a 4/6. We got an island, so can we just kill our opponent here? If we make everything block the 4/4, this is 16. All right. Everything blocks that. Oh, also evolve. And just swing. Everything has to block this. And we 17 ball the opponent. GG's. Thank you, Phoenix754. Hey, that might have been the most engaging game I've played thus far. All right, let's see what rare we get to pick up here. And see what I mean. See what I mean here. So first off, let's see what we got. We got a Archmage's Charm. Sweet card, sweet card. So now I'm not winning prizes for playing, right? So there's not really any incentive for me to keep playing this. And I got like, what, 20 minutes out of play and 4 rares, one of which was already in my collection because it's not a new card with this set. So I got a mythic and a couple rares, and I guess I had a couple good games, but now it's like I have no incentive to play anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and resign my deck. And we'll do one more. So that's what I don't like here is this would be a lot more interesting if I had like real reasons to continue playing with my deck. But if I'm not going to be actively getting anything for it, then what's the point, right? So let's do one more here and see what we got. So Tinkerer, I'm assuming this is like uh like the clues and food and stuff, the kind of evergreen artifact tokens. Junkyard is also probably artifact synergies, red artifact synergies, and then Sarah's Realm, which probably comes with Sarah Planeswalker or maybe the Giant Angel. This one seems like it's probably pretty powerful. This one seems more fun, and this one seems like I don't want to start off with it. So, do we go for the one that has kind of like busted mythics, or the one that we think is going to be a little bit more fun? I kind of don't care about the collection. As you can see, I'm not hurting on wild cards if I ever need to craft these cards. This one is double color, so I'm going to stick to my gut and just go with a monocolored theme here. Flickering. Hey, Freyalise is back. Goblins are back. And, I mean, Flickering is my favorite thing to do in Magic. There's no way I'm not picking the one that potentially gives me Soul Herder. And let's see what we got here. So, just really briefly going through. Charming Prince was one of my rares. That is just beautiful, beautiful Charming Prince there. Sure. And then Righteous Valkyrie was another one of my rares. I guess this looks like a bonus rare. Restoration Angel is awesome. Love that one. It looks like I got 4 rares out of this one, actually. Sarah's Emissary. So we did get one of the big old busted mythics. Probably unbeatable in like this pack Jumpstart Limited. Soul Herder and Sarah's Emissary are really awesome pickups. Resto as well. By the way, before we get into the matches, if you want to play in a cube environment for free with cards like Restoration Angel and Soul Herder, then come join our Discord, which will be in the description below. We host weekly and sometimes twice a week drafts with a cube that we have developed and have been playing on Arena for over a year now. So check it out. The Discord just hit 300 people. If you're here from the Discord, hello. Glad to have you. Also, 3 blue cards. What's going on there? Why is Monoskellion in here? I don't understand some of the choices, but we got some fun busted cards, so let's play a couple matches and get our 2 wins and then move on with our life. It is nice to pick up a couple extra rares, of course. Panzer Storm. What do you got for us, Panzer? Cloud Shift. Illyrios Cloud Shift is already a pretty strong combo. Angelic Purge. Fine, like, limited removal spell. Not a lot of expendable things here that you want to be sacrificing, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Go ahead and keep. Reckless Ringleader. This one gives a creature in your hand perpetual haste. So we might get beat down before we can do cool things. Good news is Illyrios is actually quite good against giant creatures. Ooh, Leonin Sanctifier. This one is the white one in the cycle. It gives a lifelink to a creature in your hand. So being able to go like Sanctifier into lifelink Illyrios is kind of sweet. Question is whether I cycle Lonely Sandboar or play it here. I think I'm going to cycle. There's already like 18 lands in these decks, so there's a good chance that I draw my 4th land if I really need the 4th land. The only reason to, I think, play it there is because, oh, this is random and it chose a 2-drop. That's kind of sweet. Oh no, this one lets you choose, but this one's random, isn't it? Oh no, I guess they're not random at all. Taking some damage though. Like what? Why am I taking so much damage? Alright, let's play 2-1 Lifelinker. See, we drew the land. What does this do again? Target creature gains indestructible. Alright, so I think I actually want Lifelink on the 3-2 here. This is a 2-1 Lifelinker, so just very easy trade-off. Happy to do that. Gain some life back. Keep myself alive. And next turn we'll play Illyrios. See, that's the reason to play the Cyclone land instead of Cycloning it, is because I have a 7-drop I want to cast. Maybe we could just win without that. Opponent didn't do anything. Gonna go and play Illyrios. 2-3, that makes a 3-2 Reflection, and this does not untap as long as I control a Reflection. The story of Narcissa, if you will. So in love with his own reflection that he ended up drowning. Battle Rattle Shaman on Ringleader. Snap Block. Snap Block. So I guess we play this now. And hold up Cloud Shift. Seems pretty strong. Yeah, let's give Illyrios indestructible. Why not? Kapow. Battle Rattle Shaman gives a creature +2/+0 at the beginning of combat on your turn. Not a very good card, but can dish out some damage in the right board states. Pashalik Mons, that's a good card. So whenever a goblin dies, deals 1 damage to any target, you can pay 4 mana and sack a goblin to make 2 goblins. It's pretty good. Alright, Battle Rattle getting in there. I will block. Actually, maybe I shouldn't block. I could take 4 and just swing back with 3 lifelink. Opponent seems to have something in hand. Even Eternal's a nice one. Even Eternal actually gives me the little amass token, which I don't mind sacrificing to the Angelic Purge. But let's go ahead and jam here. Sure. I will just trade off here. That seems fine. Pashalik Mons is pretty threatening. I'm kind of happy to get Pashalik Mons off. So it looks like the opponent's goblins, and I don't know what the black half is, but it gave them this card, I assume. Even Eternal, do your thing. Raise the Draugr. That's pretty nice. That makes their trade obviously look a lot better. Raise the Draugr lets you get back a creature from your graveyard or 2 creatures that have the same creature type. Still confused why this is here. So Ringleader, give a creature haste, presumably getting in there with haste this turn. Pashalik Mons, perhaps? Indeed it is. Alright, well I'll just trade the army token for the 3/1. Pashalik Mons did not block. Yeah, this seems fine. They get to deal 2 damage with Pashalik Mons here. Not enough to kill Illyrios. Could also Cloud Shift this. That's not necessary. Charmin Prince is good. So let's go ahead and attack with Illyrios and then just Charmin Prince to blink Illyrios. Make a 3/2. Basically a 2/2 that makes a 3/2. That's a pretty strong card, right? 5/4 worth of stats. Could scry, could gain life. Scrying gets me closer to casting Sarah's Emissary, but it's not wholly necessary here. So exile this. Comes back on the end step, which I will go ahead and pass. And boom, 3/2. Static Discharge. Do I Cloud Shift that? Cloud Shift's pretty strong. I mean, yeah, why not, right? All right. Also, if Cloud Shift doesn't resolve, I don't think you get the perpetual bonus there. All right, so fizzle the Static Discharge, exile Illyrios again. That'll come back on the opponent's end step and make another 3/2, which I'll be able to attack with. Krenko's command 2 goblin tokens. Sure. Ooh, that's a strong card. Question is whether I want to get rid of Pashalik Mons or not here. Sack a permanent. I could just sacrifice a land. Get rid of this. Attack with everything. I could also play Angelic Exaltation and just attack for like 6. Let's just get rid of Pashalik Mons before they can do anything with it. Could sack Illyrios. Don't actually expect these to die. It takes 2 of these to trade. Alright, goodbye Illyrios. Jam for 1 million. Approximately 1 million. I didn't do the math. Interesting going after the Charming Prince over the reflection tokens. Guess more worried about blink shenanigans than taking the extra damage here. Ooh, Sling Gang's a really nice one. So makes 2 1/1s. You can sack a goblin. Target player loses a life, you gain a life. It's also a Sarah Angel, which is pretty strong. So I'm just going to jam here and play Sarah Angel. Opponent could go block with a goblin, block with a goblin. And then sack. Looks like they might be trying to actually kill. Well, that's not what you want to do. Well, they'll... Oh, okay, never mind. I thought they put both blockers in front of one reflection. And then they were going to sack. Take no damage. Cast a Sarah Angel. Still holds its own to this day. Alright, that's probably game. Opponent says it's game. Sorry, Sarah's Emissary. This was not the match for you to be played. Yeah, that was a fun one. Opponent got to do some pretty cool goblin stuff there. Pashlik Mon, strong card. Let's see what my prize is. It is a... Ooh, Return to the Ranks. Card I'll probably never ever play in my life, but kind of cool. And let's run it back. Just let me do some Soul Herder stuff. Let me blink some things. I guess we had some blink action going on there. Chrysanthemum. It's like a chrysanthemum, but it's chrysanthemum. It's a lot of white mana. Segovian Angel. This card sucks. Is this a free Mulligan hand? I mean, if we get to 7, but I'm going to be cycling this. I don't know. This hand doesn't do anything. Let's just Mulligan. Okay, Youthful Valkyrie as a 1/3 that gets bigger whenever an angel comes into play. Fairy Seer. Yeah, this looks like a pretty good hand. 1, 2, 3 with just some flyers and then potentially Sarah Angel. Looks like a nice little curve. Start off with the Fairy Seer. 1/1 that scries 2 when it enters the battlefield. Tranquil Cove. I'm definitely not keeping planes. Do I want to keep Tranquil Cove to get closer to Sarah Angel, or do I want to just try and draw gas? I'm going to be playing 2-drop, 3-drop, and then on turn 4 is when I could afford to play a tap land. I'll just bottom these. We'll see if we regret that. Dismal Backwater. Oh, you're gaining a life? Well, haha. Lose that life. All right, Youthful Valkyrie gets a +1/+1 counter when angels hit the board. Don't be surprised if you've never seen this card in your life, because it was in a supplementary product for Kaldheim. It wasn't actually in the set. But it seems like a pretty decent card. Segovian Angel, I suppose, is a card that's in the deck that could grow this very cheaply. Passwell Adept. So I believe this comes in the Ninja package, which is of note. But it is also 3 mana to make a creature unblockable. Just going to go ahead and curve out the way we said we were going to curve out here. Even Eternal. We have a pacifism for any sort of blocker that tries to get in the way. So if we do suspect our opponent's playing a Ninja package, we should probably do our best to not let creatures just get through uncontested. This one's a little harder to make that happen, given that it can't be blocked. It also can't block, which is notable. Oh, you have something to do. Bubble Snare. Well, it's not a bad Cloud Shift target. This one's definitely getting cycled. Let's just go ahead and do that now, I suppose. Wisp-Weaver Angel. Some expensive cards, huh? Alright, no Mist Syndicate Naga, please. Tightening Coils. Sure. Alright, well that's a significantly better target. Alright, Ninjutsu? No Ninjutsu, huh? Alright, let's go ahead and Cloud Shift this Aven Eternal, which will also turn my army into a 2/2. Alright, see, and here's why the prize structure is awkward. My opponent just decided to concede. I won my second match. I don't have a reason to keep playing. There's some cool things in the deck, right? But you tell me, why am I still playing this deck? I'm not winning anything. I already got the cards. I picked up my rewards. It's just like, I could be doing other things, you know? Anyway, this deck was almost cool. Like, it looks like it has cool stuff. I guess we flickered in Illyrios. Look, that you might be able to tell by the tone of my voice that I'm a little critical of this release as a whole. I just wish there was more of an incentive to play, because this deck looks interesting and fun, right? But once I hit the 2 wins, it's like, okay, I guess that was cool. I guess I'm done. I guess I'll go ahead and resign now, add these cards to my collection, and maybe I'll just run another one back. But we're not going to do that. I think we just swept, right? Straight 4-0. We open, I don't know, good cards, I suppose. Look, I've got extra cards in my collection. I'm not knocking it that hard. It is a fun way to get these Modern Horizons 1 and Modern Horizons 2 cards, plus some extra little goodies onto Arena. And the more cards we have on Arena, well, the better our cube gets. The better the Arena cubes get as well. So I'm not going to knock it too hard. It's just that the novelty of it wears out pretty quickly. And I don't think any deck is cool enough that I'm just going to keep jamming the same Jumpstart deck over and over again if I'm not winning anything. So it's a cool little thing, but I'll just craft the cards I need, and if Jumpstart comes back, I might play once or twice, and that's probably going to be it. But anyway, like I mentioned, this was just for fun, just to kind of show what Jumpstart is and see if maybe we could do some cool stuff. And hey, those matches were fine. Like those were perfectly fun, fine matches of Magic the Gathering, and I didn't fully not enjoy myself, so I'm not going to knock it too hard. That being said, if you want to see some of the Jumpstart Historic Horizons cards in action in an actual cube setting, sure, you could play the Tinkerer's Cube, and that's perfectly fine, nothing against it. But if you want to do it for free, not have to spend anything out of wallet, any coins, any gems, again, check out that link to our Discord down below. We play Wednesday nights, we play Sunday nights, we have a variety of different cubes, and we've been going strong for over a year now. So come check it out. Hopefully you had fun just watching this video, hanging out, and watching us trash people with decks that we had no skill put into building. So that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. Thank you all, as always, for watching. My name's Timothy with Jank Diver Gaming. I'll see y'all next time.